Okay, so tonight we're talking about purpose-driven entrepreneurs, purpose-driven business. Yes, it is a word or two words that we use and we hear a lot. It's very trendy. Not everyone knows what it means. And tonight we're going to talk about specifically how it applies to us entrepreneurs, and also what are the specific challenges that purpose-driven entrepreneurs have and how to overcome them. So why this training? First, because since working with hundreds of purpose-driven entrepreneurs, sorry for I tried to go back and put purpose-driven, but maybe you'll have PD in the middle. It was long to write every time. And also being one myself, I've seen over and over patterns that are coming back and things like behaviors or fears or anxiety, or even solutions that are working that are specific to purpose-driven entrepreneurs that I don't necessarily see with other entrepreneurs. And also because if you are in the Born to Do Business program, there is a very good chance that you are a purpose-driven entrepreneur yourself, because those are the people that I know I attract. And also because, as you know, the more aware you're going to be of what type of entrepreneur you are and what works and what doesn't work for you, the more you're going to be able to know how to find the right solution or the right answers or the right behavior, so that you don't get scared and say, oh my God, what's going on with me? But you're like, okay, I know this is because I'm purpose driven, or whatever word you choose. You don't have to use that word. It's just a way for us to understand each other. And also to understand that if you speak to someone who is not necessarily purpose-driven, they won't necessarily understand your challenges, and you won't necessarily be able to use their solutions. So it's really a way of getting to know yourself better, getting to know how you work, and finding the right solution for what you have, and not feel like, oh my God, I'm the only one feeling like that. What's wrong with me? So we're going to talk about what is a purpose-driven business, because like I said, a lot of people use that word, but we don't really know exactly, or maybe we're not sure exactly what it means. And also, what is a social business? That's a concept that I've discovered and that I find fascinating. And so we're going to talk about those two concepts. We're going to also talk about how to define who is a purpose-driven entrepreneur, and to decide to know if you are one, because then, everything we're going to say is going to apply to you. What are our specific challenges? And I definitely include myself in purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And also, what are the solutions that work, especially for us? So let's start with definitions. So those definitions I found on Google, and maybe you can find other ones, but those were the ones that I found were really explaining what I wanted to, the message I wanted to come across here. So a social business is a form of business striking a balance between social objectives and financial goals, situated somewhere between profit maximizing business and the nonprofit sector. So I'm sure you've had, maybe not you directly, but you've heard people having this dilemma, or this question: should I open a nonprofit? Should I have a business? Am I a for-profit? Am I really doing what I'm doing to make money? What does it mean to make profit by helping people? I know that a lot of people that are in the help industry sometimes ask themselves, is it ethical to ask money when I'm helping people? And basically this concept of social business it's pretty new. It's a few years old, and it's a concept that comes in between the nonprofit and the for-profit. So it's a concept that in Israel, at least, I think in the United States, it has a separate entity and a separate status, but in Israel, it doesn't have a separate status. But it is a way to position yourself, and it is a way to say, I'm a social business, which means that I am making profit, I am maximizing my profit, but I'm still not a nonprofit, and I'm still doing something good for for society as a social. I'm also working for society, and I'm also doing something that's social, and I can make money from it. And so it's really a good in between that you can also start calling yourself, if that resonates with you, and say, I'm a social business. And we'll see what you can do in your business to make you be able to have that title of a social business. Or even and the definition of a purpose-driven entrepreneur reflects on their own unique experience in life and channels that into a business that makes an impact in a way that they uniquely can. They're clear on who they want to serve and align everything in their business to affect change. So the reason why I'm sharing those definitions is because even if we don't have that definition, that is what Google thinks. And so that means that most people, at least that's how Google works in terms of statistics, this is how those words resonate. And if you can use this in your marketing material, if it's true, I mean, first of all, is it true? That's the first thing. And does it resonate with what you're doing? And then once you decide if it's true, whether it's more social business or more a purpose-driven business, and then deciding how to explain that or how to educate the people around you to speak more about your positioning and speak more about what you do. Now, the reason why I know that this is a subject that's trendy is because if you put purpose-driven on YouTube, you have at least, and I only found 3, and those, if you want to take a screenshot, I can share the links later. We won't listen to them right now, but they're very interesting TED Talks, and I found them really fast. I'm sure there are more than that. Just to share one of them is this one, Why Purpose-Driven Companies Are Thriving and Can Change the World. This Ryan Hiller, I'm not sure how to say his name, Hillier or whatever his name is. He is a lawyer. And he's saying the story here on the TED Talk, how he decided after going through a whole period where he was only making money and only wanting to make partners and only having billable hours. And one day he decided to stop the madness, and he decided to open a social business or purpose-driven company, a law firm. And he decided to install that for every billable hour that they would charge, they would have 1 pro bono hour. And that made a lot of noise and gave him a great reputation. And he explains how even with other clients, when they had the choice between 2 law firms, because this was his policy, people would choose to work with him. And he says that they're making a lot of money and they're very profitable, but their strategy to do that and to really help, he explains how in the beginning he wanted to help people and then he got lost on the way. So that is really, I mean, just listen to what people say out there, and you see, first of all, that it is a trendy topic, and also that it's also something that doesn't mean because you're purpose-driven or you have a social business that you're going to make less money or that you're a nonprofit. That's also something that we have to really be clear about. And this TED Talk here, he speaks about how the social responsibility, you might have heard of corporate social responsibility, CSR, which is something that's also very trendy now, where companies have a whole department in their companies to help to either do social activities, or not social activities, but social activism, and to help with anything that they can help, either charity or use the employees in all kinds of work together. And that, he says, is also increasing employee retention. So people like to work in an environment that is purpose-driven, people like to help, people like to give. And so those companies, not only do they have a higher profit, but they also keep their employees longer. So all this to say that purpose-driven is something that is trendy, and there is a reason for it. Some of it here also, I don't remember who exactly, was also talking about how it's also part of our times, right? That we have more time now to give, and we have more abundance, and those that are richer can give to those that are less fortunate in terms of time or money. And so it's also something that goes with our time, where we have more time and more abundance that we can share. And that is something that I think we can take. I mean, we're not a law company, we're not a corporate, structure, but I think that if this is trendy and if this is happening in the world, we can also ask ourselves, how do we translate this in our business? And because we are also purpose-driven and we want to do good, how do we put this in our business model, and how are we creative to be able to implement that in our business? So let's start by asking, what is a purpose-driven business? Okay, so a purpose-driven business is a business that has a purpose or a social dimension to it. Okay, it doesn't mean, like I said before, that you don't make money or you don't have a profit, but it also doesn't mean that you are a nonprofit. You can make a lot of money, and I actually think you should make a lot of money, and we'll see why, not only for yourself, but also for all the people that you're going to help. You should, of course, make as much profit, meaning optimizing your profit as much as possible. But it doesn't mean that if you want to be purpose-driven or have a social dimension to what you do, that you need to be a nonprofit. It also doesn't mean that you should lower your price or that you should offer discounts. You know what I think about low prices and about discounts. It's not because we want to help people that we say, okay, you don't have money, I'm going to lower my price. No, because and this is how we set up our prices. Our prices are set up based on value and not on, do I like you, or I don't like you, or do you have money or you don't have money, right? It's not a personal judgment. It's really about the value that we offer. Some people are still not going to be able to afford the services that we offer. And that is, the life of demand, offer and demand. That's how it works. But if we want to be purpose-driven, it's not only by wanting to have an impact in the long run or wanting to help as many people as possible, but it could also be in the way that we build in our business model, a way that we can help really people that really need the help, and we need to define that. So we're going to talk about that. It also means that you can use your for-profit business to do good and help others, right? So doing good doesn't mean for free, and expensive product doesn't mean it doesn't do good, right? We have to dissociate those concepts, because we can make money with our for-profit, we can do good and help others, and we can also have a social or purpose dimension to our business. And also, being a purpose-driven business it also means that one of our goals, and I say one of them because another one is to also have the lifestyle that we want, is also to provide for ourselves and our family. It's also to be able to give ourselves and our family and our loved ones everything that we want to give. But one of our goals is also to align our business with our purpose and to do good, right? So again, it's not black or white. It's not I help, I'm good, I'm doing it for free, or I'm not doing it for free, so I'm not good and I'm expensive and I'm for profit, right? There is this area that we can define for ourselves, and we can really be aligned with what does it mean to give, what are our prices based on, and where do we want to be purpose driven, and where do we want to have that special social dimension, which doesn't mean that, again, we're going to do things for free. So what are the different ways to be purpose-driven? Now, again, this is not an exhaustive list. This is a list that I find, can give you ideas, can start you thinking, can, be creative in terms of, okay, maybe I can do it like this, or maybe it has to be customized to your business model, to your offer, to your purpose. A lot of things have to be customized, but this is a good starting point. And I actually had started, the whole list here from this point, and then I thought about this point and I put it up, because I said the first thing you have to do is you have to be really good at what you do. So that seems like obvious, but it's really about being the best at what you do and not being apologetic about your prices, right? So being purpose-driven doesn't mean to say I'm only going to be cheap and only give discounts and only, charge less. And I'm sorry if I'm expensive, or I'm sorry if you can afford me, right? If you're the best at what you do, or if you're great at what you do, and if you have worked long enough and you have the expertise and you have the experience, and by the way, you've invested in yourself, and you've also did everything to be the best, then it's really about keeping that and being the best, being proud of that, and not being apologetic about your prices or about what you charge. Okay, that's, again, I put it on top because I feel like it might be obvious, but we need to remind ourselves of that. But the different ways to be purpose-driven, it is to have a cause. For example, it could be that you believe in a cause, whether it's a social cause or a human cause, and beyond making profit, but not instead of. So it's something that you believe in, and it's something that you're going to promote, quote unquote, not necessarily with Facebook ads, but it's something you're going to talk about. It's something you're going to make clear in your marketing material. It's something that you're going to defend. It's something that maybe you might be called to speak or write articles. And that in itself, because when you're doing marketing, you are some kind of an activist, because you're putting yourself out there, and more and more people are going to see you. So having a cause and defending that cause, I don't have to give examples, but it could be, women empowerment, or it could be, equality in different ways of treating different minorities, or when I know when we had the Black Lives Matters, if this is something that you believe in. So having a cause is something that you are, because you are out there in any way, you're going to experience, you are at a place where you can explain things, where you can educate, where you can maybe do some research and have this audience that is, even if it's a few people that are going to hear you and going to hear maybe a different perspective. And that is already being purpose-driven, okay? Another way of being purpose-driven is helping others, even when they're not our clients or our potential clients. And that is just your personality, your neighbor, or someone you meet, or even on Facebook groups, you give an answer, not necessarily because they're gonna be your client, or you spend time helping someone. And this is a way of life. This is not just, oh, I'm being purpose-driven, wait, I need to help someone. No, it's really about who you are. And if you are like this, it's going to be seen and it's going to show. If you're not like this, then it's also fine. But the reason why I'm putting this here is being purpose-driven doesn't only mean doing things for the business. It's also who you are as a personality. Using your influence and presence on social media to help others. It could be that you see a cause, someone needs help, and you say, you know what, I'm going to send it to my list, or I'm going to post it on my group, or I'm going to talk about it to my clients. And that is also being purpose-driven. Another one is when you offer freebies or free events or free calls, doing it from a genuine place. Maybe these people are going to be your clients, maybe they're not. But feeling good about it, not feeling like, oh, I had 10 calls and only 3 became my clients, I wasted my time. No, maybe I helped those 7 other people, and this is part of my business model, and this is how I do it with, generosity, and this is my way of helping the people, even if they're not my clients. Having a scholarship fund. So I spoke about it in my post today. This is something that I've had in mind for a very long time, and I've spoken to a few of you already. And this is something that we're going to see how we have to think about it very. We have to be very specific about what is a scholarship fund. But it could be that at some point in your business, you feel like you can give back by not, again, we're going to see how not, creating extra work or creating extra time for yourself, or, doing things that are going to make you have extra costs, but doing it in a way that you can, because of your purpose, because of your belief, because of the cause you want to defend, can be a way to give to very specific people, a way to have access to your services that, again, it has to be really limited, and really the borders have to be really, really clear. Using a percentage of your profit to do some pro bono work. So pro bono is typically a word that is used with lawyers, but we can also use it here and say, you know what, once I reach that amount of profit, I'm going to take a percentage and use it to help people, or give a discount, or give a 50%, or a special population, or people that are at risk, or minorities, and you can choose who you want to help. There is also the possibility to ask your clients to participate, to give the possibility to your clients and to tell them, I'm doing this pro bono. Do you want to put like extra money or help someone, or do you want to participate by using a percentage of what you're paying towards that cause? And again, this is not an exhaustive list, but I'm trying to make you see how there are different ways to do it. And maybe you're already doing it naturally without even calling it purpose-driven. And in that case, I invite you to call it like that, because that's additional marketing and additional reputation if you're already doing it. And if you're not doing it, see which one is talking to you, resonating, the things that you feel like you can do, and is not going to, again, cost you extra time or extra cost or extra money. We're going to talk about that. So I wanted to share with you my example. I actually went and looked for this picture because I knew that I had it. And yeah, 18 years ago, I made Aliyah with my 2 kids. Most of you knew that already. And I was a single mom, and I had to support my family. I know when I say this, it sounds like, take out the tissues and start crying, but it was not. It was really a happy time. It's just that, I just had one salary. That's all. And I had to support my family. So that's also why I wasn't an entrepreneur right away. I knew I wanted to be, but I knew I had to have this security of a corporate job. But I was always telling myself one day, and even my daughter, she keeps on asking me all the time, remember when you were saying one day you will do that? When are you doing it? So, this is something that I used to say, that I would help other women who are in a difficult situation. Now, difficult situation needs to be really defined, and that's what I'm in the process of doing, because a lot of people can call themselves in a difficult situation, but that's where being purpose-driven and being structured about it means that you're going to do your homework. You're going to be very specific about who you want to help and what does it mean a difficult situation. Now, at the time, I didn't know how, right? I just knew that one day I know that I got help, and I want to also give back that help. When I decided to become an entrepreneur, I didn't put two and two together. I didn't say, oh, great, I'm going to become a purpose-driven entrepreneur so I can help others. That wasn't the first thing on my mind. I wanted to become an entrepreneur to make money because like everyone needed to continue paying the bills. But then at some point, once you have enough experience and you have enough expertise and your business is growing and you have enough clients, you say, oh, okay, maybe that's the time. Maybe now is the time. And I want to be really clear on that. I mean, I'm saying that for me now is the time, but maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even a year ago, maybe I wasn't ready for that. So it's not something that you should feel, oh my God, I'm not ready for that, so what's wrong with me? I think it's something very personal, and it's also, do you have room? Are you available for that? And there's no good or right here. There's no good or bad or right or wrong. But I feel like if you know that it exists and you can, integrate it in your business as it is, it could be a good win-win for everyone, which I will show you later. So today it just came like really clear with that fridge story that I spoke about, that it was like, wow, this is exactly what's happening. This is when I need to start my scholarship fund. It also shows that you can start thinking about something and then give it time until it really, materializes in reality. Because I had this idea of the scholarship fund. I knew I wasn't ready to make it, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's obvious what I want to do. So you can also have an idea and let it grow, not necessarily do it right away. For me, it makes a lot of sense to do the scholarship fund, and it's really about giving back, but not only giving back, oh, okay, so now I'm going to do exactly what I do with all my clients for people for free. No, it's going to be very specific people. It's not going to be for free, and it's not going to be my full packages. So it's going to be a very specific fund and way of helping people. That I invite you to do as well, to be very specific, because it's not just, okay, check V, I did my, purpose-driven thing. It has to be something that is really aligned with the way that you want to do business. So exactly what to be careful of. I wanted to make sure that, we spoke also about the other side of it. It's not just, la la land, we're helping people, well, nice. We also have a business to run, right? So we have to be careful, because the first person we have to protect is ourselves and our loved ones and our business, because that needs to be sustainable. If you do something and then in 6 months you're closing your business, no one is winning from this, right? So you want to make sure that you have a system in place, whether it's an application form or a questionnaire, which means that you have done your homework to know exactly what other questions you want to ask. Do you want to prove? Do you want to ask people, how much they're ready to be invested? What is their commitment? There are a lot of things that you can think of, right? But you want to screen applicants to decide who you want to give to and who you don't. And it's okay to say yes to some people and no to others, right? You're not just like, okay, I'm charity case, I'm giving to everyone, but really this is who I want to help, right? Make sure that you have clear criteria of who you want to help. I know that for me, the criteria are really clear, that I'm looking, to help women, either single mom or, women that are divorced or are singly, the breadwinner of their family or in the process of getting divorced. For me, that's a very, very hot and warm place in my heart, because that was my story. And so, yes, a lot of people can tell me, yeah, I can't afford your programs. I know a lot of people cannot afford, and my goal is not to make it affordable to everyone, but case by case, I might find someone who already has a business. There are a lot of conditions, right? It's not just, just let's open a scholarship fund and everyone can come. You want to make sure also that you have a product or a service that you offer that doesn't imply direct costs or your direct time. That's also very important, right? It's one thing to, first of all, we don't make it necessarily free. That's what I say in my last point. You don't necessarily make it free. I believe in having skin in the game. So even if it's 50% or something, they need to pay some part of it. But also, even when they pay, you want to make sure that you're not just breaking even. Like if you have to invest additional cost or additional time, and then your purpose-driven business becomes something that is sucking your energy and your time, then you're going to resent it. It's not going to be a good business move, but you're going to resent it, and that's not a win-win. So you want to really think very smart of what can you offer that is not going to cost you additional cost or investment or even time, because if it's your direct time, you're going to resent it at some point. Again, you want to use an existing framework, right, of your business. If you're not there yet and you don't have that in your business, then maybe that's not the time, but at least you know what you're aiming for, right? And don't create an offer that will require additional time or additional costs. And also, I'm against, but maybe some people will be for, you have to decide for yourself, but I don't think that you should reduce your prices or give discounts. I think it's a very different thing to say, for my case, for example, I'm opening a scholarship fund and there are some criterias, and if you want to apply, and this is how it works, rather than to say, here's my program, I'm giving you 50% off my program. No, I don't think that this is healthy. There is a reason why your prices are where they are, and there is a reason why you've raised or you've increased or the value of your offer and your services, and so giving discount is kind of selling you cheap, right? You don't want to do that. You want to give a separate offer that is dedicated for this, if you decide to have a purpose-driven business model within your business, and only for the people that fit that criteria, and not to sell yourself short or decrease your value, and then again you're going to resent it. So that's not the goal. And like I said, it's not necessarily that you want to make it free. I personally don't believe in free. I believe in skin in the game, but it could be that it's a small amount, or it could be it's 50%. But again, all this has to be, it's not just I'm going to help people, I'm going to do it for free, and I'm going to, see what happens. You want to be very, very strategic about it. So now let's talk about, and here I want you to basically take a pen or just check, make a mental check or write down the things that you feel are resonating with you. Because from my observation, when you are a purpose-driven entrepreneur, there are things that are working great. And we're all here enjoying it, and that's great. And there are things that are not working at all. So it's really about understanding what's working and what's not working, and then saying, okay, I'm on track. It's fine. Okay, I know this is going to work. This is not going to work. That's fine. No surprises there. So in the column, we'll start with what's working. Usually purpose-driven entrepreneurs are dedicated, they're passionate, they're driven, right? Everything is there is an intensity, there is a lot of things to give, there's warmth, they're invested in their business, they can work, sometimes even too many hours, right? And be too invested in their business. They're always ready to help. They're lovable people that are people, right? That love to help, love to be in a relationship, to help others, are charismatic. Usually it's people that have many gifts, whether it's in their professional area or even, in life in general. They're authentic, they're trustworthy, they're vulnerable, they're inspiring. And all this is probably how, if it resonates with you, you can write down what part of it really resonates with you. Because one part of it is because you're purpose driven, not all of it, but part of it is because you're working in your purpose and you're aligned with what you're doing, and you're animated by this cause and by this passion. And so that's what makes it, everything that's working. And we're very grateful for that. Great. But then there is the other side of the coin, right? We never get, the full, we always have to pay the price, right? So what's not working? So usually, and again, that's from me working with, again, hundreds of entrepreneurs that are mainly purpose driven, and money mindset, right? It's really about, getting aligned with that money mindset and those beliefs, and am I really worth it, and self-worth and imposter syndrome, and do I really want to be rich, and do I really need the money, and what would I do with the money? Is money an end in itself? And, am I doing this for money? Am I helping people only? So all those questions around money, value, worth, imposter syndrome, Those are really connected to purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Same thing with difficulty to increase prices, right? So I love helping people. I wish I could do it for free. I have to charge because what can I do? But increase prices, oh my God, that's, no, I can't increase my prices. No one is going to be able to afford that. And I want to help everyone, right? So if that resonates, write it down or raise your hand, because that is something that we all have to work on when we're purpose driven. I know I had to do a lot of work on that. We don't like to work on numbers. So even if we're good with Excel, those spreadsheets, but we don't really like to look at the numbers because our business is first to help people, right? So numbers is something else until we realize that, a business without numbers is not a real business. We don't like to be too visible on social media. I like to do my own thing. I don't like everyone to know. I don't need to have that, spotlight on me when I'm doing good. I have to be on social media because what can I do? But I don't really like to go live. I don't really like to be on video. I don't like, so again, if this is you, it could be that not all of this are you, but if you recognize yourself, and there's a reason why, right? There's a reason. We don't like to sell. I'm not pushy. I'm not salesy. I'm not sleazy. I don't like to convince people. I don't like to manipulate. If someone wants my help, I'm here, but I won't force them, right? We don't like this whole selling thing. We also have problems with boundaries with our clients, right? Our clients calling us at night, WhatsApp, email, I want more, I didn't get enough, refund, all of those boundaries issues. That's also very much connected to purpose driven. We want to help everyone, right? That could be in the good, but that could also be in the not good, because we're our self-care, our life, our family, our prices, our money, our time, right? We want to help everyone, but what is the price? We are too emotional. Okay, what does it mean emotional? Up and down all the time. Like when it's going well, I'm over the moon. When it's going down, I'm like under the blanket, right? So that is also because our business is connected to our purpose, which is connected to our value, which is connected to our worth, which is connected to who we are, to our essence. And so our business is like an extension of ourselves. And so when it's working, it's like, oh my God, it's great. When it's not working, it's I'm not worth it. And I go back to my imposter syndrome and self-worth. So again, this is all connected to the same theme of being purpose-driven. And also being impatient, that's something that also goes with, but this is my purpose. I want to reach it already. This is my goal. How come it's taking me 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? I don't have time. I want to help people. I want to help thousands, millions of people. I'm impatient, right? Which is also making us sometimes make, not rational decisions in our business. And then the bright, shiny object, right? I'm helping those people, but what about those? What about this? And what if I would do that? And what if I did like that? And then we have hundreds of offers and hundreds of services. And we're always attracted by the other bright, shiny object. Why? Because we are like, passion and emotion and intensity. And so that's also being part of being a regular entrepreneur. But when you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur, the intensity is times 10. And so again, this is for you to have awareness and to say, okay, I'm in the right place. I might not have all the solutions, but at least I'm in the right place. Now, a few solutions, okay, not all of them, but a few, and you've heard me say that probably more than once. But again, it's a reminder, okay? So what to do based on what's not working. And in the beginning, I wanted to have everything in one slide, and then it became, I said, let's divide it. So connect the price that you charge with the value that you offer. That's something that we do a lot when we work on your prices and your offer. It's not about I'm charging X amount. It's, what is the value of the transformation of the service, of what you're going to get, and what is the price tag that you're putting on that value? That's how you want to think about pricing. When you think about money, it's not connect the money that you make with how it will allow you to help more people, right? So if I'm making more money now, I'm going to increase my business, I'm going to grow, I'm going to scale, and I'm going to be able to help more people. So I'm connecting the money with the impact. Okay, that's how purpose-driven work. You need to connect the money with the impact, not with, some people sell you'll make more money and you'll be able to travel around the world and buy yourself a car and a house, and that works too. but you know, what really works for purpose driven is like you'll have more impact and like, okay, now I'm ready to make more money. Connect your worth with the impact that you will create, right? It's not your worth, it's not about me. You know, when you say to yourself, it's not about me, it's about the people that I'm going to be able to help. So even if you can't really see your worth when you have that imposter syndrome, when you don't see your self-worth, it's about, okay, but look at the help that I gave to that person, and that you're reminded of your worth if it doesn't work that, you know, directly. Find the right EGA, exponential growth activity, and MGA, money generating activity. Find the right balance and be very strict about it, especially for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. It's true for everyone, but especially for purpose-driven entrepreneurs, because we're looking at the EGA, the exponential growth activities, as a way to get faster to our goal, to our purpose. We have a tendency to go spend a lot of time on our EGAs, and to MGAs like, yeah, you know, if I have time. You need to really reverse the balance and make sure that your MGAs are first, because if you don't serve yourself, you won't be able to help others, right? The same story with the plane, where you need to put the mask first, right? So the MGA is really about giving yourself the means to be able to help others. So be really strict about it. It's not just a nice to have and, yeah, if I have time. No, it's really looking at your calendar, blocking out time for EGA. This is the first thing you need to do, so that you're reassured that your purpose is safe, and then investing your 80% of your time on MGA, because this is the short term. This is what you need to do for now. So again, being really strict, not just, you know, I'll do it when I have time. Connecting your visibility and marketing, if this is an issue that you have, with the impact that you want to make. Again, it's not about me. It's not about, do I have lipstick? Do I look good? Am I gonna, you know, my background? No, it's about the message that I'm gonna make and gonna have, and the people I'm going to reach, and the impact I'm going to have. And that is going to help me be more visible in marketing. Identify, that's a really important one. Identify the specific people that you want to help, whether it's for your purpose-driven business model or your general business model. You, especially purpose-driven entrepreneurs, need to be very specific, because that is what's going to give you the fuel. That is what's going to give you the drive and the gas in the car. The more you're going to help the people that you really want to help, the more you're going to feel like you're aligned, you're at the right place, you do exactly, you're going to have more strength, more energy. And so in the case of purpose-driven entrepreneur, finding your niche is essential. It's not just, again, a nice to have, like, you know, in any marketing, but it's really essential, because that is what's going to help you go through the ups and downs. It's at least I'm helping the right people. At least I'm helping the people I really want to help. And that is really important, even though it's true for any business model, any entrepreneurs, but for purpose-driven entrepreneurs, finding a niche and being sure of those people that you want to help is really critical. Working on your mindset and on your self-care, again, is not a nice to have, is a must. Why? Because your energy is coming from your soul, right? Your energy is coming from your essence, from yourself. And so you are a tool in your business. If you don't work on your mindset, I mean, every entrepreneur is like this. But when you're not purpose-driven, sometimes you can detach yourself from the business and from what you're selling, and you know, it's okay, it's not me, it's the business. But when you're purpose-driven, it's so connected that if you don't take care of your mindset and your self-care and your routine, being very disciplined, then you are not going to, you're not going to be able to perform. You're not going to be able to have the resilience and be sustainable and be consistent, which is the problem with purpose-driven, right? It's always up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's really about saying, okay, I know myself. I know I'm intense. I know I'm investing a lot. I know I'm putting a lot of energy. I need to work first on my mindset, on my self-care, and I need to be very disciplined with routine. Again, those things are true for anyone, but this is my discovery here, and this is what I'm sharing with you, is that for purpose-driven entrepreneurs, it's even more true. Whatever is true for everyone, this is more true for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. So what is the win-win here? Why is this a winning strategy? Why being purpose-driven and including purpose-driven business model within your general business model, and doing something that you love and helping the people you want to help? Why is this a winning strategy? But first, because you're aligned with who you are. So you're good with yourself, you're at the right place, you're doing what you love, you get up in the morning, you're energized, and this is where you get your energy from. So it's a win for you. Second, because you're showing the world who you really are, and that's not like, hey, look at me, I'm the best, but it's more like this is aligned with the way you want to be seen, not only who you are inside, because we know as purpose driven we have a whole inner world, but all of a sudden when you have this business and you're actually putting it out there, you're saying, okay, what's inside is also what's outside, and there's alignment here and everyone else can see it, and that's also the recognition that we need. You can use it in your marketing, CSR, corporate social responsibility, what I told you before. It's not, we're not doing it for that, okay? I'm careful here. I'm not saying, yeah, do that because it looks great on marketing. We're doing it anyway, and we want to do it, and this is why we get up in the morning. So if we're already like that, then we can use it in our marketing because it's going to be a way to position ourselves. It's going to be a way to be different from our competition, not because it's a proactive strategy, because it's a consequence of who we are, right? And so you want to use it in an authentic, of course, and aligned way, and not like, look, I'm the best, I'm helping people and blah, blah, blah. More like, you know, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm doing anyway, so I'm sharing it, right? And you'll see that some people will want to work with you just because of that. If they have the choice between two people that do the same thing and they see, wow, look at, you know, she's aligned, he's doing what he loves, they're helping people, you know, and they're helping the world be a better place. Some people will connect with you from that place as well. You're also not losing money directly or time directly, because you are setting it up in a very smart way, and you're not putting it, you know, you're not taking any risks because you're not losing direct money. When I say direct is, of course, or your general expenses, if you have a team or if you have systems, of course, some things are going to be spent, but it's not directly caused by this additional business model. And you're creating ripple effect of good in the world, which is, you know, for purpose-driven entrepreneurs, is the first reason why we started our business. So that's why it's a win-win strategy for everyone, for you, for the market, for your clients, for your existing clients, for the next ones that are going to benefit from your extra help, and for the world in general, because you're just creating more ripple effect of good. So I really hope that this training is gonna open up some, you know, ideas, or, you know, for now or for the future, on how you can really build on that purpose-driven energy. Because if you're already purpose-driven, then you may as well make the most out of it, whether it's in your business model, your marketing, the way you look at yourself, your reputation, your positioning. It's, you know, it would be a shame not to be that 100% all the way. So I hope that this is going to be helpful for your business.